What's good, everybody? Today we took 2 wins and 1 loss, so let's get straight into it. Here were the 2 wins and here was the 1 loss, and right down here we skipped 1 trade because the 4 hour, as you can see right here, was in a range and the 30-minute was bearish. Although we would have taken a dub if we ignored bias, which I don't think would have been wise, and just blindly went in. Also, before this there were 2 other trades that I skipped because it just didn't hit the highs or the lows, and I refreshed the page, so that's all gone, of course. But let's start with the first trade. It was a bullish 4 hour, you can see, and it filled this 4 hour fair value gap right here. So that was bullish bias for me. And then the 30-minute was bearish and we entered based off of a 5-minute inverse fair value gap. 30-minute was bearish, so it was going down, not good. And then on the 5-minute chart we entered based off of our lows getting hit, and then there was this inverse fair value gap here, which is where I entered right here. But I forgot to wait for the break of structure to the upside. It would have occurred here, invalidating another fair value gap, giving extra confidence, and that would have got swept as well. But still not good that we forgot the 5-minute fair value gap. And the rest of my notes, I forgot to wait for a 5-minute break of structure. I did feel structure was turning bullish because of the 30-minute chart mainly. I didn't think it would go up. It was a bad trade. I went against my own conviction, and I didn't notice this old low, which I'll show you quickly, for resting liquidity for stop losses, which is even more confidence not to have taken the trade. So as you can see, this low right here got swept, and this low, I think, yep, which was even more confidence not to take the trade. And look at this. I was just looking at this and I'm like, this isn't looking like it's going up. The red candles are bigger than the green, so I kind of felt it was against my own conviction to take this trade. So we took a loss of, I think, $900, 0.45%. And the next trade we took a win. So I'll show you that here. So the 4 hour by then had turned from a range, from consolidation to bullish structure. So that was good for my bias. And then the 30-minute, it was a bullish also, so good confluence for me. Then the 5-minute we entered. I waited for extra confluence because I was just confirming the 30-minute structure was bullish. So I waited for a break of structure and fair value gap and inverse fair value gap. So I followed the plan. It was a good trade. I waited a little extra, so I entered late. However, it gave extra confidence, so the trade was good. So as you can see on this 5-minute chart on our second trade, we hit our lows, and then we broke structure on this candle over here, also invalidating this fair value gap. However, I waited a little bit because I noticed that there were these equal lows, which I thought were going to get swept, which did. So I'm lucky I didn't enter based on that. And because look how bearish this looked, I wanted to wait and see for myself. So then we waited for these inverse fair value gaps, and I waited for this fair value gap to get filled, and the equal lows got swept. That's an ICT concept for you guys. If you didn't know, equal lows are too clean, so they are most likely to get swept by the market. And then we entered and we took some huge profits. If you can see our box here, our final profit was like about 1 to 5, and it was a good trade all in all. And it ran from the end of London session into late New York, and it actually ended, it swept stop loss right, oh yes, I had a trailing stop loss, and it was like about over here. So right before our next London session open, it hit our trailing stop loss, which was in profit. However, this is all speculative, as if I would be looking at the charts all day, which is a little unrealistic, which is why first I want to prove I'm profitable on this backtesting software and keep trading and trading and trading on this. And then when I'm profitable, I'll keep doing this and switch over to a live demo account. However, I'm at school and I don't currently have the time to do that, so I'll have to settle for this for now. The final trade we took, it had a bullish 4 hour. The 30-minute was bullish order flow, so that's the high term bullish. The higher time 30-minute trend was bullish, but the structure was bearish. We entered based off of a 5-minute sweep of equal lows. I think this was for the previous trade. Yep. Twice, and then an inverse fair value gap and a break of structure. So here's the first set of equal lows, swept. Here's the second set of equal lows, swept. So this trade and last trade, I actually didn't realize last trade, but they both had equal lows being swept. But let's go to the 44 hour. Right now it's bullish, as you can see, 30-minute bullish order flow, which is basically structure on a higher time frame. But as you can see, the short-term structure over here was bearish, which is fine because the order flow takes preference. So if it's a bullish order flow and a bearish structure, then the bullish order flow will add extra confidence to the trade setup. This is where I marked out our first take profit. It was at a 1-to-1, as you can see, and I would have been able to enter, but I can't because of the software. So our lows were hit. There was no break of structure to the upside up here. However, there was this tiny inverse fair value gap, so not much confidence for me. Plus I saw the equal lows and I knew they were going to get swept. I entered right over here because these two equal lows are now also just formed, so I entered, boom, I saw it sweep. Then I saw this inverse fair value gap on this candle. I entered, giving us a nice 1-to-1 over here, but I could only close it over here because of the way the software works. We hit a 1-to-1 as our first take profit, and then we were stopped out at break even. Luckily, for a nice profit of $500. So in total we were made about 1.5k, maybe 1.6, and that's all I got to say. Bye bye. Like, there was this high right here in from, what's it called, from ranging